Now, a Greene County official receives backlash on social media regarding a controversial Facebook comment over an Amber Alert case out of Milwaukee.
And flooding still remains a problem for communities all across the Midwest and Plains. We're getting a bird's eye view of some of the damage in Nebraska.
Plus, turning tragedy into triumph, the special connection between a local family and a Milwaukee College basketball team about to play in a national tournament.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us. A local municipal clerk's Facebook comment is causing concern tonight.
That official living in Greene County weighing in on the Amber Alert case out of Milwaukee. Our Keely Arthur visited the town of Sylvester and joins us in studio with the very latest. Keely?
Eric and Charlotte, in a now deleted post, town of Sylvester clerk Lynn Locken suggested using lynching as punishment for a crime. The comment posted just weeks ahead of her re-election. The sad story of Nolani Robinson getting a controversial take from a local official in the town of Sylvester. Municipal Clerk Lynn Locken commenting on a news outlet's post detailing the case where Robinson was allegedly kidnapped by her father, Darius Higgins, and found dead days later. Locken writing Sunday, quote, "What makes me mad is we have to spend taxes to take care of him. I think hanging trees should be brought back." The post in Locken's profile now removed from Facebook. We stopped by Locken's home today, her daughter aware of the situation but not commenting further, only to say her mother is currently recovering from surgery. Sylvester is a small municipality in Greene County. We spoke with Greene County Clerk Michael Doyle, who said he was unaware of the post. He believes Locken has served in her role for 2 terms, and she is running unopposed in this spring's election. One person responding to her post on Facebook writing, quote, "Maybe you want to find another job." Locken did not immediately return our request for comment. And we also reached out to Sylvester Board Chair Anna Anderson. She did not return our phone calls.
Keely Arthur reporting tonight. Keely, thank you.
We now know the name of the woman killed in a Baraboo house fire last week. Police have identified the woman as 60-year-old Kathleen Blakesley. Emergency crews were called to the home on Terrytown Road around 7:20 Friday morning. More than 30 firefighters were needed to help put out the fire. No word on the cause. Janesville residents are promoting peace and healing in their community. A vigil was held tonight at the First Congregational Church honoring the victims in the mosque shootings in Christchurch, New Zealand. 50 people died in those shootings. Their names were read during tonight's ceremony before attendees walked to the Muslim Dawah Center for a call to prayer.
It breaks something inside of you when you're a community leader of a faith community and people's ability to worship and pray are broken by violence.
2 of the victims' funerals are underway right now in New Zealand.
Former Vice President Joe Biden reportedly called several supporters today asking for help with the presidential run. The Wall Street Journal reporting that a source informed the paper that Biden reached out to at least a half dozen supporters to tell them he plans to run for president. Meanwhile, a new CNN poll identifies the 4 Democrats leading the crowded pack of 2020 contenders: Biden, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, California Senator Kamala Harris, and former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke sit atop the list. 28% of those surveyed say Biden should be the Democrats' presidential candidate. However, Biden has slipped 2% since December, and again, he still has not formally announced his intention to run. Bernie Sanders comes in second place. Former Speaker of the House, Janesville Congressman Paul Ryan, now on the board of the Fox Corporation, Fox News' parent company. Former Congressman Ryan was appointed with 3 other board members. His appointment to the board comes as the company goes through some changes. In a deal set to close tomorrow, Disney will get most of 21st Century Fox, including entertainment cable channels and its movie studio. The remaining parts will form a separate company.
Advocacy groups are calling for tougher drunk driving laws in Wisconsin. The group Mothers Against Drunk Driving says its top priority is making a first-time OWI into a criminal misdemeanor. That is one of 4 bipartisan bills that Representative Jim Ott is introducing. The others would require first-time offenders to physically appear in court and increase prison sentences for certain OWI offenses. During a news conference today, people who've lost loved ones to drunk drivers called for lawmakers to pass these proposals.
I was appalled at our laws and what was being done. And I didn't realize all the multiple offenders out there, how many people, how many crashes.
Another bill would require all first-time drunk drivers to use ignition interlock devices for a year. Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says his caucus will discuss the legislation introduced and determine the best way forward.
This just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. In a letter to the Henry Vilas Zoological Society, Dane County says it is proceeding with the steps it needs to take to ensure the zoo remains accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, but still plans to end the partnership between the county and the nonprofit. Again, county officials say visitors of the zoo will not notice a change. The county plans to award contracts for services in the coming weeks and seek its next fundraising partner. County officials say they expect the Zoo Society to compete for that business partnership. We turn to weather now as we wind down the final 19 hours or so of winter. Glad to see it go, many of us. And here's meteorologist Dave Caulfield.
Yeah, it's not like any of us are actually checking our watches, or are we? We're looking forward to a pretty close to normal start to spring tomorrow, with temperatures once again in the upper 40s. But a couple of spring showers could come our way for the start of the season. We have two systems that will graze us over the next 24 hours. The first we can see to the south and west. I really don't think we're going to see much in the way of rain from that, but a cold front coming through tomorrow could provide some showers during the afternoon hours for at least some of the area. Live look in Madison at partly cloudy skies in the WISC-TV Skycam. Temperatures right now in the mid-30s. Clear skies allowing those temperatures to really dip quickly. 36 in Janesville, 41 in Mineral Point, and 38 in Platteville and Monroe. Wind speeds are pretty calm as well. Another determining factor in those temperatures dipping quickly, and we will be in the lower 30s as some clouds come back into the picture by tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy skies for the first day of spring tomorrow, and for the start of spring at 4:58 p.m. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s for highs, and again, a few raindrops not out of the question. We'll take a look at that possibility and talk about when the sunshine returns in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Flooding remains a concern in communities all across the Midwest and the Plain States. This video was taken as a helicopter flew over Omaha. Vice President Mike Pence was in Nebraska today to get a firsthand look at the devastation there. In Nebraska alone, it is estimated farmers will lose nearly $1 billion worth of crops and livestock. Many also don't carry flood insurance, and those who do worry it won't cover their entire losses. Still unclear how much damage was done, since many farms cannot be assessed until that water has fully receded. Melting
snow and rain continue to cause flooding in southern Wisconsin, with the Rock River nearing moderate flood stages. One Milton woman says this isn't the first time she has dealt with this. Her home along Lake Koshkonong has flooded several times over the course of the last 2 decades. She says she's used sandbags, but still has to be creative about dealing with the water.
We had a John boat for the kids in the fall because bringing groceries back and forth, that got hectic, so we just got like a blow-up boat, and we were transporting stuff back and forth that way. But yeah, it's just, it's a tough situation. Yeah. Especially with kids.
The National Weather Service says water along the Rock River should crest later this week. A Facebook post from Reedsburg Star Cinema announced a bit of sad news. The theater does not plan to reopen after last summer's historic flooding. Staff says FEMA is not allowing them to remodel, leaving them with 2 auditoriums. And the owners say this does not make the theater economically sustainable. The theater is located next to the Reedsburg's Main Street Bridge, which was closed in August after the Baraboo River crested. A man is in stable condition tonight after being shot by a UW-Milwaukee campus police officer. The university police chief says the man was found with a gun sleeping on a bench in the Fine Arts Complex building this morning. Officers say an altercation took place. The man was shot. The officers were treated for minor injuries. The man who was shot, they say, has no connection to the university. Cash bond set at $2,000 today for the man accused of beating and killing a dog with a hammer. Brandon Shearer told Columbia County deputies he was upset with the dog for urinating and defecating in the house, so he took it outside and put it down. Shearer is from rural Portage. Teachers in the Madison School District are being told to send letters to parents before doing animal dissections in class. This gives parents and students a chance to opt out of this activity if they want to. The Alliance for Animals told us today they've been working with the school district for a while to get these guidelines in writing. Teachers can come up with an alternative option that is equally educational for students who choose to opt out. The executive director for Alliance for Animals says she believes this is a step in the right direction.
17 states have it as a law. Right now it's not a law in Wisconsin, but now it's a policy in the Madison School District.
According to a letter that Alliance for Animals received from the school district, students who opt out will be given an alternative assignment at no penalty. That letter also states alternatives may include, but are not limited to, computer programs, plastic models, videos, and charts. Alternatives that will provide students a similar learning experience. A pet shelter is in need of some items to help care for a litter of puppies thrown in the garbage. The puppies were abandoned at a day old. The Marshfield area pet shelter needs food and money to cover health care costs. Staff will care for them until they're old enough to be adopted. They won't accept applications until April 11th when the puppies are 6 weeks old. Police have arrested a man in this case, and we have a link on how to help these puppies at channel3000.com.
A Milwaukee college is heading to the National Junior College Division II National Basketball Tournament, and when they go, the MATC Stormers will have a sixth man on the floor with them in spirit. Much of the seed money for scholarships for that team was made possible by a $40,000 donation from the Kellerman family. Will Kellerman was an MATC basketball player from Verona who died in a crash in the fall of 2017. A scholarship established by his family in his memory. Many of you donated. It has the Stormers experiencing March Madness as Will would have wanted them to.
I'm always talking to my guys from last year about him. We never forget about him, thinking about him, talking about him every day, actually. He was just a great impact to everybody.
There's not words that can be said to show the gratitude to them and their family for their contribution to our scholarship fund. He will always be in our hearts, and their family will be with the Stormer family forever.
And their postseason journey begins tomorrow in Danville, Illinois, 1 p.m. against Ancilla College. Coming up next at 10, big changes for the Packers in the 2019 season.
And a colorful super bloom is causing some safety concerns as people rush to see the wildflowers up close.
The government is making hundreds of documents public related to the investigation into President Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. The documents show the FBI was investigating Cohen for nearly a year before his office and home were raided. Cohen pleaded guilty to tax evasion and making hush money payments to 2 women who alleged they had extramarital affairs with Donald Trump. Cohen is expected to begin serving a 3-year prison sentence in May. The Trump administration proposing limits on how much graduate students and parents of undergraduate students can borrow in federal student loans. White House officials included the plan in a list of suggested changes to the Higher Education Act. That proposal hopes to reduce the nation's student debt.
A huge fire at a chemical plant in Texas is still burning and likely won't stop for at least another day. Firefighters say they are making headway against the flames, but say the wind isn't helping. This fire started Sunday after flammable liquid leaked and ignited. The fire is not impacting air quality at this time. No one was hurt. Florida prosecutors are offering a plea deal to Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, and 24 other men. The men are accused of paying for illicit sex at a massage parlor. Kraft will have to concede that he would have been found guilty, perform 100 hours of community service, attend a class on the dangers of prostitution, and pay thousands in court costs. In return, the charges against him would be dropped. The DA says none of the men have accepted a deal so far.
A rare phenomenon attracted so many visitors to a Southern California town that officials declared a public safety emergency. The super bloom, this is in the town of Lake Elsinore, briefly cut off access to the poppy fields on Sunday, calling the crowds there unbearable. The town reopened that site on Monday. Eventually we'll see some blooms going on around here.
Colorful blooms at that.
Yeah. I would say that, I mean, the crowds may have been unbearable, but the drought there has been unbearable, so it's great to see them out of the drought. And it's great to see winter is out the door as well. Almost.
See you later.
Yeah, we still have about 18 hours to go, so let's not count the chickens before they hatch. Does this scene look familiar? I think it does, at least over the past 3 or 4 years, months, excuse me. We have been dealing with a lot of snow and also some record cold, but spring beginning as we head into tomorrow at 4:58 p.m. to be exact, that is, and then everything will be fine. No, that's a little bit idealistic. We all know that it takes until we get to about May to totally get out of freezing territory as far as temperatures go. But at least for the short term, we actually should be slightly above normal as we head into the next couple of days. And for the weekend, I think we'll be in the low 50s. Now, as we get into next week, there may be a high pressure system that tries to kind of temper these temperatures a little bit. We'll keep you updated on that. But right now, it still looks like we'll be in the upper 40s and low 50s. But again, stay tuned for updates on that. And we've actually been pretty chilly to start the month of March. We were insanely chilly to start the first couple of days of March, but temperatures have gotten a little bit better over the last week or so. It would have been nice if they behaved a little bit more so we wouldn't have to deal with all this flooding, but we've been pretty close to normal over the past couple of days, and I think we'll be in similar temperature territory as we head into the start of spring tomorrow. And the last supermoon of 2019, believe it or not, also comes just a few hours after we start the season tomorrow. Hopefully, any clouds that are around from a potential round of showers tomorrow clear out just in time so we can see that supermoon, because we have to wait basically a year after that to see the next one in 2020. Live look in Madison, the Edgewater Skycam at mostly clear skies, and those mostly clear skies have allowed temperatures to dip already into the 30s. So here is our weather track. Here's what we have going on. We have a system to the south that will really miss much of southern Wisconsin. The second system, a cold front on the way that may provide some showery activity tomorrow afternoon. Really shouldn't be that major of a deal, but something to watch out for. Maybe need the umbrella for a short time tomorrow. Temperatures right now, as I mentioned, already in the mid-30s in Madison, 41 in Mineral Point, and 38 in Monroe. For tonight, we should dip to around 30 degrees, partly cloudy, not as chilly. Although if these temperatures keep up, we may actually dip into the upper 20s, but we'll see the clouds on the increase into the overnight hours. And then for tomorrow, maybe a few blips on the radar. Again, really not going to affect too many of us. Starting off in the 30s on Thursday, and highs under mostly sunny skies for Thursday are back near 50 degrees. Here's a look at the 10-day forecast. I think we'll be pretty solidly in the 50s as we head into this weekend. Then by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, next system comes into play and temperatures will dip back into the upper 40s with some shower chances looking more likely for portions of next week.
All right, thank you.
Two former Packers find new homes. We've got the details of where and for how much coming up in sports.
Well, two franchise staples are saying goodbye to Green Bay today. Randall Cobb and Clay Matthews have both found new homes. Cobb heading to Dallas and Matthews back to his hometown of Los Angeles. Now, Cobb reportedly has a one-year deal worth $5 million. Cobb scored 41 career touchdowns with Green Bay, but only played in 9 games last season because of a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, Matthews, who, by the way, made the announcement himself on Twitter, has a 2-year deal with the Rams worth $16.75 million. That's according to NFL Network. Matthews is the Packers' all-time sacks leader. Well, when the Bucks play the Lakers, everyone obviously wants to see Giannis against LeBron, but tonight, both of them did not play. Giannis out with an ankle injury, LeBron with a sore groin. Luke Walton and the Lakers, though, they only come in to this game winning 31 games. That was okay with the Bucks, though. Putting on a 3-ball clinic today, Brooke Lopez from way downtown, he scored 28 points tonight. Later, Chris Middleton stepping up big for the absent Greek freak. And the kids love the threes, of course. Middleton with a team-high 30. New but old again, Tim Frazier with the ball now, but watch Pat Connaughton there. 2 hands, Connaughton with 13 off the bench. Giannis approves. Bucks beat the Lakers 115-101, the final score. The Badger women's hockey team is in the Frozen Four for the 6th straight year. That's the longest streak in history. Wisconsin playing two-time defending national champion Clarkson on Friday night at 6 in Hamden, Connecticut. Now, it could be a big weekend from a team and individual standpoint for the Badgers because Badger senior Annie Pankowski is one of the 3 finalists for the Patty Kazmaier Award. Now, Pankowski could become the 6th Badger to be selected as the nation's best player, joining Sarah Bauer, Jessie Vedder, Megan Duggan, Brianna Decker, and Anne-Renee Desbiens. Pankowski has a fixture for the Badgers has been a fixture for 4 years at Wisconsin and would be honored to receive hockey's highest honor.
I mean, it's the ultimate honor. You see the list of people who've been nominated for the award and people who have won the award. It's an exceptional list, and I'm just really grateful to have been considered for the award, and we'll just see how it goes.
It would be great for Annie. I mean, she's been through some tough obstacles in her playing career. You know, she's meant a lot to us, not only on the ice, but off the ice, and you know, been our leading scorer the 4 years she's played with us and done a lot of great things, and you know, she's certainly worthy of winning that award.
The Badger men's basketball team will play round 1 of the NCAA men's basketball tournament on Friday afternoon in San Jose around 3:30 Central Time. That game will be on TBS. Now, since the Badgers missed the tournament last year, there are a lot of guys who have their first ever appearance in the March Madness. Redshirt freshman Kobe King and sophomore Nate Reavers will both be making their first trip to collegiate postseason. Still a cool deal, even if they had to wait an extra year.
I'm excited. I mean, I remember watching it like growing up as a kid. Dreaming of playing it, so it's good to have an opportunity to do it. Just trying to be a boost like I tried to do at Michigan State. Kind of came in, we were struggling a little bit, so I mean, whatever I can do to help, I'll be there.
Coach is basically talking, it's 3 tournaments. You got to win your round and then play to the next weekend. So just got to take it one game at a time and go from there.
And finally tonight, there is a new highest paid player. The Los Angeles Angels wrapping up a new contract with Mike Trout that will pay him $430 million, very casual, over 12 years. That's an average annual of $35.8 million. Now, Bryce Harper had the largest contract at $330 million. Trout's deal is for $100 million more than that. We'll be right back.
Still that strong. By the way, this kid's pretty good, don't you?
Picture
And here's a lastly your 10-day forecast. Start of spring tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 40s. Could have a few showers at times. Shouldn't be a major deal. The sun comes back for Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the lower 50s.
Dave, thanks, and thank you for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.